What's up, everybody? It is Warp Charge Gaming. We're back again with the Thursday night talk show.
It's Thursday?
Yeah,
My God,
Thursday.
already.
Episode 37. Got Chris, got James with me. I'm George.
Yeah.
Hello.
What's up, everybody from across the globe? This is where we get into ranting and raving about things on the tabletop, particularly 40k related. And
Absolutely.
I think we got some things to discuss this week. It's I saw your guys' episode last week. It was enjoyable to listen about the possessed combo there, the Death Star, about 400 points. So you were mentioning, giving it all kinds of modifiers.
Yeah.
It's crazy, because since you've mentioned that, I've seen that build crop up mentioned like 2 or 3 times, I feel like.
Well, I don't like those people. I don't know what else to say.
I'd seen you get into you had made a little bit of a commentary on there was just like a competitive 40k Facebook group. You were talking in, James, and I saw somebody else chime in and say they'd been attempting the same thing, and you guys were discussing the difference of taking Death Guard versus Alpha Legion, for instance.
Yeah.
It's kind of the flux choice there for them.
You just can't take it all. If you could have 4 detachments, you could take it all. But because you have a fortification, it eats a detachment. And it's a sad, sad truth of list building.
Yup.
We got Lou Bangs and we got Ice Wolf. Ice Wolf's joking on us about Kill Team. You know, I love me some Kill Team, Ice Wolf. I'm going to be talking about some Kill Team at some point, too.
Dude, I've been talking about more 40k, though, because I had a tournament that I placed third at on Saturday, and I did way better than I thought I would do because I thought I brought a fluffy list. So
yeah, actually,
I'll be talking about that.
I got the screenshot of your tournament results there, James. Looks like you had tied. One of your games was a tie, 20 points?
Yeah, my second game.
Yeah, was it against Cameron? Yeah,
Yes,
looks
it
like
was.
it. Yeah, you can see that in the screenshot of from the Best Coast pairings there. And you don't see World Eaters in the top 3 very often, so pretty cool to get to rep that.
Yeah, I felt pretty good about it, especially Cameron. I mean, Cameron hands me a whooping every now and then because he is really good. I mean, he's part of Beast Coast. He's top Harlequin player year after year in ITC.
Mm-hmm.
And he's planning on getting in top 16 at LVO, so he was bringing his heat. And to say that I tied him, that's an accomplishment in my eyes.
Yeah, man. Respect.
Yeah.
So what, tell us about the tournament, bro. What went down?
Oh, you want me to go straight into it? Because I'm all about it.
I mean, I got stuff I can talk about too, but
So like 2 episodes ago, I talked about my Khorne bloodletters and the awesome combo with the mask. And yeah, I brought it to the tournament thinking I was just trying to like make Khorne great again. And everyone I went up against, it was like counter meta. So I was able to like capitalize on like them not having the right tools or not know how to answer like the questions I was giving them.
Mm-hmm.
And it was quite interesting. I mean, first game was against some shooty nids. He had 2 units of Hive Guard, 2 units of Biovores. He had Death Leaper, Red Terror, Old One Eye, 6 units of Termagants, Muclid Spores. I mean, he had the whole 9. And he was planning on shooting me across the board. And what's nice is I only start with 3 units of Nurglings on the board, 40-man Cultist Blob, and a Rhino as targets to shoot at besides my characters. And he was only able to kill a unit of Nurglings turn 1. Turn 2 came along, and I like to go second with this list because of I just want to get to turn 2.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to capitalize on like taking people off of objectives and killing more, especially in ITC. And he left an opening on top of a building because the way it was all laid out is ITC style. So buildings were 9 inches tall, and he blocked out his screen real nicely with his mines, with his cheap Termagant units. But he left himself with his characters in the middle. I mean, it would look gorgeous as the way he spread everything out. But the one flaw he made is he didn't put anyone inside the building. He didn't look at it as like the vertical distance of 9 inches. He looked at it as like the horizontal distance of 9 inches. And he was able to So I was able to deep strike a 20-man bloodletter unit on top of the building, plus 2 characters for like getting the rings of buffs out. And then I pinched on the 2 sides and just trapped him in a corner. And as I came down the building, I got to smash some characters. And because I pinched in and like got to spread my attacks per like different units, I cleared all of his screens. And it was just at that point just taking over. So I won the first game 31-19. Game 2 was against Cameron, and he brought his Harlequins with Yanari. And he had a sick combo with these Wraith hosts. They have 3 wounds apiece at toughness 6. And what makes them nasty is they have a 2-up armor, but you can put a spell on them that gives them a 4-up invul, or not a spell, a stratagem.
Celestial Shield.
Invul.
Yeah.
And then he puts a spell on that gives a 3-up invul. So they have a 2-up armor, 3-up invul.
Yeah, it's called Celestial Shield and then Protect.
Yeah. So it was a pretty beefy unit with 3 wounds and toughness 6. And then he also had a 5-up Feel No Pain on him. So
Fortune.
Yeah. So he had a 10-man unit of that.
I just fought the Eldar today, so those powers are all too familiar.
Yeah, I don't care what the powers are called, as long as I know what they do. And I played it real smart where I played back and he had to come forward, so he was moving forward. He managed. I played stupid on one Nurgling unit. I put it all the way up to the building, and he came up with bikes and killed them through the wall because they were within an inch by being all the way up to the wall. So I was really stupid about that. Gave away a kill in the first turn. But I tried it with my next unit for turn 2. And since I chose to go second because I won the roll-off, he didn't want to come out and fall for the trap that I tried to do the first turn. So he didn't get a kill the turn 2. And then I came in and I just rolled hot. I brought in everything. I did fail a charge, though, with one of my Bloodletter units. I mean, it's a 3d6, 8-inch charge rerollable, and I failed it. It was a sad, sad time. I probably would have won the game if I would have made that charge because I left the unit completely untouched that I should have been able to kill and move further. So that unit was able to stay alive. He was able to capitalize on the position I didn't have. So it made a much closer game. But he allowed me to go right into those Wraith hosts because he thought they were super tanky. So he let me get my combo off perfectly. So a 20-man unit, getting +1 to hit because there's 20 dudes. They didn't lose any in Overwatch. Then I get the +1 to hit from the Skull Taker. And then I had the Mask charging to take the Overwatch. And when she charged into him, gave me +1 to hit onto him. So they were +3 to hit against this unit. Had the Crimson Crown with the Herald. So the Herald's giving him strength 6 in the charge. Crimson Crown gives him extra attacks on 6s, which are now 3s. Had the Demon Prince within range. So I was 2-ups, re-rolling 1s, extra attacks on 3s. I literally went through all my dice. I needed 5 extra dice I had to borrow from him because I had so many hits on him. And then I rolled to wound, and it was 4s the wound because he's also toughness 6. And the first roll going through it, I killed 5 dudes. And it was like, whew, that only killed half of them. Like it just felt so intense. And then he overrided. The way I positioned him is I had another unit of Bloodletters touching them, but they haven't gone yet. And since he overrided, he split his attacks between the Mask and that unit. So he managed to kill one of those Bloodletters, and he killed the Mask, but he left the 20-man fresh unit completely alone. So as we went through all the attacks again on different units and everything, got to the end of the combat phase or fight phase, I then attacked again. And then I managed to kill 4 more. Granted, now I wasn't getting extra attacks on 3s, but I was getting extra attacks on 4s. I managed to kill 4 more, left 1 alive because of morale and losing 9 dudes. He fails morale. And I was able to kill a 380 point unit with 160 point unit of Bloodletters.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that felt pretty crazy. And then it was just kind of like tied up. He fell back a little bit, got some shots on me, kept some things in combat. He moved in with other units. He got a little greedy with his bikes, though, because of my termite was there. He wanted to kill my termite, which haywire grenades can easily take out. So he killed my termite, but he still left himself in position for my berserkers. So he managed to get into my berserkers, did a couple wounds on my berserkers. My berserkers got to swing on him, then got to swing again because they swing twice. And I managed to kill his bikes on his turn. So that was pretty big for me. And it was just kind of back and forth, back and forth. I really thought like I was coming back strong after having that like couple point deficit. When we tallied it all up, it was exactly 2020. And I was like, damn, that's pretty intense. Yeah. And then my next game, since we were doing Swiss pairings instead of battle points, a tie does not count as well as a win. So I ended up getting paired with somebody that had a win-loss, and they were rocking a Magnus, 2 Demon Princes of Tzeentch, and Ahriman list with Poxwalkers, 3 units of Poxwalkers, and Typhus, and the Sorcerer dude. And he also had a Renegade Knight. So typically it's a pretty scary matchup for most people. But I was going to table him in turn 3. I had just gotten into all my charges. I just had to roll dice, and he conceded before I actually achieved the official tabling. But handled that one pretty easily because I was able to pinch him all around. And he also didn't like realize that vertical distance. So it wasn't exactly 9-inch tall building, but it was a 6-inch tall building, which allowed me to get closer into his pocket that he created of his screen. And I purposely didn't want to make that charge because the way I was going to charge on my bloodletters, they were still going to be able to get the bubble as I pinched in on them. So I was able to clear his screens, and then his knight was going to get a chance to go at my berserkers full force. He went at my berserkers, only killed 2 berserkers with a knight, so I had 8 berserkers going into him. And without even spending command points, I did exactly 24 wounds because I had the characters. I had the characters that gave reroll hits, reroll wounds. So World Eater berserkers get 4 attacks apiece, and they hit on 3s. But this one character gives them reroll hits, and then they wound on 5s normally against a knight. But you give them veterans of Long War, so they're wounding on 4s. And then I get reroll wounds because of the other character within 6 inches that builds in the termite. So first round of swinging, getting 4 attacks, I did 14 wounds, and it was literally like averaged out. I was going to do 14 wounds. But because they're berserkers, they get to swing twice. It's 8 attacks per berserker. Did another 14 wounds in the second round and wiped out the knight exactly 24 wounds. And that was on his round of like charging and attacks. So he felt pretty demoralized as the berserkers didn't continue to go into like his Typhus and his other demon prince.
Ouch.
My God.
Yeah, it was pretty ruthless, and I did not expect it to go that well because it's really like a glass house. I mean, it falls apart so easily, but because of the threat factor of I'm everywhere pinching in, they don't really know which one to pick. So I'm able to still chew through. And as long as I'm pretty smart about where I place things in the movement phase and then doing my micro movements in the combat phase, I get kind of the upper hand on most people. It's just a low scoring list, so I don't get crazy high scores. But if my opponent's not ready for me, I end up just whooping their ass, and I get my high score that way. Mm-hmm. So felt pretty good about it. I'm taking it again this Sunday, but different mission lists or mission styles. Still going to be an ITC tournament recorded, but it's going to be Maelstrom missions at a chapter approved. So I'm actually very curious to see how this list does with a different mission set.
Yeah, ITC missions definitely kind of dictate. Like I was just talking about how I was playing around with using the new 8 from chapter approved, the Tau 8. But each one of the different commander crisis suits and broadsides and all that, they all come with a unit of 2 drones. So whenever they drop, they count as 2 independent units. And now you have 7, 8 little 2-man units of drones that are just easy kills for the ITC points. So not playing with that kind of scoring would instantly change the viability of that.
Yeah, man. I go in expecting to give up Headhunter and Reaper right away.
You are hearing voices.
Yo, James, what is James's Instagram? There's 2 Jameses here, but if James Harrington, if you're looking for James Schaff, the illustrious's Instagram, his Instagram is basically Warp Charge Gaming's Instagram. You want to throw down a link for him, James?
I don't know how to throw a link to Instagram right now, but it's just /Warp Charge Gaming. Can't miss us.
Indeed.
It's a place that you can go. Speaking of some of the cool things that you would see there would be some of the sweet paint jobs that James has done. James recently just got over to one of our awesome fans from Canada, Trevor. He reached out and wanted to get some paint done from James, so he just finished up these Night Haunts from Shadespire. I should call it Warhammer Underworlds, appropriately speaking. But these models are great. I know he just got his and was super stoked. That was really cool. Additionally, James has been making me drool by shooting me shots of the Geller box he's been working on from the Rogue Trader box. Here's a few little videos of him showing off the work in progress. I cannot wait to get a chance to play these guys. Very exciting. They're I didn't realize how they were, like, their clothes. They look kind of like cultists or something, like regular dudes that turned into these mutant monsters.
Yeah, these guys are fun to paint. So James is mentioning how I played him in Madison, and my corn was so nicely painted, he swore he would never field an unpainted army. So interesting thing about this tournament I went to on Saturday. I got third, but the prize support that I won was best painted. Now, I totally expected to go in with unpainted models, but the night before, like, it was eating at me. So I stayed up till like 4 o'clock in the morning. I painted my termite. I painted the new Chaos Lord with Thunderhammer as my apostle with hammer. And I got together some Plague Bearers for a buddy of mine, Robles, so that I could borrow his Bloodletters and Skull Taker. So I managed to get through all the different work that he needed to get his stuff, got my stuff painted. So I was able to borrow his painted model. So I came in with all painted models. The guy who had better painted army left after round 2 because he wasn't doing very well. Something about the people around here, if they're not winning, they just leave. Like it's so strange to me. But because he left, no one else had a better painted army than mine. So I got best painted, and Cameron, who got 4th, got 3rd place because they gave the 3rd place to 4th.
Nice.
So it was kind of dope. I helped out Cameron. We had an awesome game. He got prize support. I got prize support. But I have yet to ever go to a tournament without a fully painted army. I just don't do it at all costs.
I mean, I at least try to get color on everything that I'm bringing to a tournament. You gotta give back to the hobby, and I mean the fact that you're inspiring people to actually show up with painted armies, that's giving back to the hobby in the best way.
Yeah, it's a good thing. It's a good thing.
Get that gray tide off the table.
I just appreciate models that are painted. Something about it, I don't like the game as much when they're unpainted models. It's just plastic. At that point, I want to use paper dolls just to be an ass.
Especially I don't know, me for the stuff that I've painted myself, there's a huge sense of satisfaction just being like, oh man, there's no gray on this table. I finished something. Yay you. I don't know. It's very rewarding that way, I think. I guess kind of just like any hobby milestones or anything like that, Yeah,
I mean, I think I would take different lists of tournaments if I wasn't allowed to have painted models in my head.
I think that's actually almost an incentive to try out different lists. Get your template list, have a nice painted core force, and as you're expanding, be like, oh, I want to try out this unit. All right, well, paint those.
That's exactly what I did with Khorne Demonkin, which got me to top Khorne Demonkin player when that was a faction. Now I'm just trying to figure it all out again. And
wait, I got a question. You were top player for a faction once?
Yeah, man. One time, a long time ago, before I got squatted. Got squatted hard.
Listen, man, it's gonna happen. I'm telling you, it's gonna come back.
It may, but I'm really excited about playing Khorne again. It's so much fun. I feel like I'm cheating a little bit because I have the change caster to give me a free reroll spell. It's the only spell I cast to see if I get a reroll, and I play it all the way back. And then I have a mask, which is a Slanesh Demon Herald, but she gives me a +1 to hit, so I need it. There's no psychic powers there. And then I have 3 units of Nurglings just because I need some cheap troops. I feel like I'm cheating a little bit. That battalion is just super cheesy for what it does.
I mean, after chapter approved, I think, your standard tricks got blown out of the water a little bit. It's you know, you gotta use what tricks you can get, man.
Are
Yeah,
you?
but with
We heard any rumors or expectations or wish lists of what's going to come in the new campaign book?
well, the new campaign book definitely has more chaos, like new chaos models, like new units on top of a new Abaddon. So
We do know it's the chaos centric one. I
yeah.
mean, that was
So
kind of already known. But
if I get
are
some
we
cool World Eater tactics, I'm going to be pretty excited about that.
Do you think that I would be kind of sad if they focused? I mean, it sounds like by intuition they're probably going to primarily think about the Marines and Chaos Space Marines more so than demons, I would expect. But hopefully there's a good amount of demon love in there as well.
so I expect it to be demons and marines personally, as well as probably maybe even renegade knights. That could probably use a tiny boost.
Dude, I
But
bet there's Necron stuff in there.
I was gonna say I would be really shocked because these are campaign books. Like, you know, you're covering a war zone that involves multiple factions, and you can't put out a book that is all a bunch of friends. Like, that's not what these books are. So like the last campaign book, you know, for the first part of Vigilus, it had Eldar, it had what, orcs, I think,
Yep.
and what else? I mean, we're gonna see more.
Yeah, dude, I definitely think we're going to see more. The Urban Conquest. Dude, I had just passed by that today. I saw a picture go past my feed.
I saw that.
And, I really want that terrain. Like, it's just dumb scatter terrain, but it's way better than the old school, like Aquila, this eagle that was just out there and the dumb statue.
Debris.
Like, this is a way better version of that stuff. So, like, I'm interested in that. I don't know about the game. I could care less about the game.
I think the game is kind of cool. It's almost more like I feel it's kind of like closer to what 40k used to be, and kind of like closer to what 40k or Kill Teams even was at one point. But I think it's a cool little expansion onto 40k. It's not a tournament game. It's, you know, it's what I think you would affectionately call, James, nerd shit. But
Nerd
you know,
shit.
but it is amusing. I think it's definitely, even if you're in the competitive circuit, the depth the rules add to the game, I think, are cool to at least read over, because while it's not intended necessarily to be competitive, it does add a lot to the game, I think. That said, I know in that same release we're also getting something George is, I'm sure, excited for. What did I see about Kill Team Arenas or something like that?
Yeah, what is that? Somebody mentioned that to me. I've been away for the last couple 7, 8, 9 days.
So it's the next expansion on Kill Teams, man. They're doing an expansion post Commanders, and there are some players that have already, like, you know, without seeing any kind of rules, they're already griping, because this whole expansion is almost like the city fight of Kill Teams. Like, this is supposed to be like the stratagems and stuff. It seems like the way they've sold it is it's how they're going to flesh out the close combat phase in Kill Teams. Like, it's meant to be like close combat warfare, specifically.
Okay.
And I don't know what that means, but obviously factions like Tau and Necrons and not close combat factions are like, what are we going to do about Harlequins and stuff like that already? But, you know, we have no basis on rules. I'm sure everyone's going to get something. I don't know if that means we're getting new characters. I mean, we may even see new commanders with this expansion. I think really it could add whatever they wanted.
I got this little 30-second preview here of it. I'm just going to hit play of it on the show here, see what the hell's going on here.
Do it. And while George is catching up, I suppose. Oh, he's putting it actually on the screen. Excellent. Never mind. Yeah. Rules, add-on missions, team games. Oh, even rules for like team play. But yeah, at least I expect there to be some new stratagems.
Huh. Okay, that looked pretty sick. It looked a lot like Rogue Trader. I mean, ultra close confines is already what they introduced into Rogue Trader, but it looks like more rules, more stuff. That's cool.
Yeah, and Gordito, I will not be hooked on that. But good news, I did get my game switch at Adepticon. I am playing Friday in the morning now, so I will be playing with you, Gordito, and George. And I'm going to bring the pain on a game I've never played before. Let's get ready for it. With a faction I didn't even pick. You picked.
You, the audience.
Cool. That looks fun. I'm about this Kill Team Arena. I mean, Kill Team everything is awesome. It is the proper game. It is
man,
way more fun than everything.
Speaking of new releases, while we're still in the rumor mill element, they had more leaks for Genestealer Cult, and there's 4 characters that are getting new models that I had not seen yet. So there's 4 whole new characters that I haven't even like had the chance to fanboy over, really. Like my God, that bumps up, counting the Abominant with that last expansion. If you count that as part of this quarter release, they're getting at least 6 characters, 2 bikes, a 4-wheeler ATV kind of thing. It's my God, they're just giving me all the toys.
Yeah, that's
great.
Serious. That's serious business.
Genestealer Cult.
That is a lot of stuff.
I'm excited about Genestealer Cult. I was telling our buddy Matt Simon that I might get Genestealer Cult as my second army.
Do it.
And I will do it mad justice. I'll do it like a unit at a time. Like I'll just slowly build it.
I think I mentioned this before, at least in the chat. Like, it has all of the like looting conversion elements orcs have with all of the mutation elements that Tyranids have. So like, I think it's from a hobbyist perspective, just like for someone who's really artistic and we're really willing to put the time into it, that can be an insane looking army. So
yeah.
I hope you do it.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. I'm excited, especially some dudes on 4-wheelers and dirt bikes. Like, I just hope it acts like Corn does, and I will make it all red like Corn. Like Corn brings the Genestealers to life type of shit.
I mean, you could literally even do like a bunch of like chaos cultists who are infected by a Genestealer cult, or maybe there's a Genestealer cult
that's how I plan on doing it. All combat too.
Yeah. They're great, man. They're so good. And yeah, these characters, man, they're really cool looking. The models, like one of them is like an assassin that looks like straight up like I don't know that it has the quality of the grimdark diehardness of some of the Imperial assassins, but it almost has kind of like a comic book kind of gritty zeal look to them. Like they're cool looking models if you haven't seen them. There's like an assassin. It almost looks like there's 2 kind of like magus, like the spellcaster kind of models. So people are kind of assuming, since we have that model already, it's probably named characters. Since we don't have any for the cult at this point, we're getting some kind of comms looking character. He's probably like an infantry support character. He just looks like he has some of the like navigator equipment that like some Imperial Guardsmen may carry if it was like a captain or a box officer. And then we also have the other one that we know more about, the cheap Primus, the one that has the really cool navigation display that actually has the blueprint for Games Workshop's building on the blueprint.
That's cool.
All really cool models. Super cool army. I see George's pulling up pictures. I see the Abominant. I see the bikes. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's almost like overwhelming, man. I just feel like bugs are in such a good place. You're gonna give me more stuff that's like actually competitive and good. I'm like, that's wonderful. Please help me make Connor angry.
Apparently Gordito shot me some links and stuff. I'm not in a position to see what you sent me, bro. Sorry. I'm being a poor producer right now. Obviously there's some new models. That sounds exciting. Genestealer Cult, it's coming. We got a new Kill Team Arena. I'm excited about that. Didn't know about that really till now. Just saw the words. James still doesn't care about kill teams, but he's going to play at Adepticon. It's going to be cool. A little recap. I played Kill Team right before I took off on my bringing down Christmas lights and malls across the East Coast adventure. And I just picked up some Harlequins at the awesome store Battlegrounds. I was excited because they were just sitting there painted. A friend of mine at Battlegrounds offered to paint them up even further, so I'm excited to get those back. Here's a look at the war zone I was playing on last weekend. Do it every Sunday at Battlegrounds. Good-ass time. Speaking of Battlegrounds and playing games there, we got tournaments coming up. First off, it's going to be this. Well, actually, I don't have a flyer for it, but this coming weekend, I'll be hosting I'll be a part of the event for a How to Play weekend. So I'm going to be teaching people how to play Age of Sigmar Champions, which, by the way, I've been able to reach Diamond Level 2, Division 2, just to toot my horn there. But I'll be teaching the game Age of Sigmar Champions. I'll be teaching Warhammer Underworld's Night Volt, Kill Team / Commander, and 40k this weekend at Battlegrounds. And then upcoming, we got a tournament the weekend after. And then the weekend after that, we'll be doing a Kill Team tournament. Looking forward to that. Gonna hopefully get to try some Gellerpox out, or if anything, run the Harlequins. And finally, February 2nd, this will be a year running. I was just looking at today as I was posting these on the Best Coast Pairing app. This is the 3rd year in a row that I've thrown a tournament on my birthday weekend. And
I was going to say, man, I've watched you get older 3 times now.
Yeah, and each time we played 40K. It's been a pretty awesome time. It sounds like a good amount of people are going to come out. And since last year, this will be the 14th event I've ran in 1 year. So pretty excited to have that under my belt.
Crazy.
Yeah, going from 0 to hero with running events. So that's pretty exciting. That's all been done using the Best Coast Pairing app, who we've also been able to create a relationship with now over this past year. Warp Charge Gaming has been a true vehicle to help.
Chris needs to stop working out, though.
Yeah, Chris is breathing hard again.
He is working out.
Sorry, didn't mean to eat my mic.
Gordito cracks me up. Sensitive subject, champions. Yes, it is sensitive. It is a sensitive subject, Gordito. James refuses to play me anymore. Every time we've played since then, it's been nothing but ass whoopings for him.
It literally twice, and it literally is the last move, like the closest game as possible.
He loses every time. Just saying.
Every time.
I'm not trying to like say whether James is good or bad or not, or George is good or bad or not, but George definitely likes clubbing baby seals in that game, because the second I told him recently, I was like, oh, I play, he was like, hey, yo, play me real quick. Watch me take my loaded, like, platinum level 2 horsecock and slap around your starter deck real quick.
It was awesome.
He tried to do the same thing, and then he challenged me on air, and he realized, oh, shit, he's better than me at everything.
That was many episodes ago, James.
Dude, that's all that needed to happen. That's all that needed to happen.
That was even before Onslaught. I was trying to just get to gold back then.
Oh yeah, that's what they're all saying.
Dude,
all of them.
I fought hard now. Yeah, I'll try, Gordito. I'll try. Hopefully, I'll at least get to play the guy in Kill Team one day, maybe.
I'm going to make the argument, George, just to shit talk, that you got through gold and the harder, quote-unquote, harder ranks mostly before Onslaught, so you played when the game was easy.
Wait.
Wow.
I wasn't able to succeed before I got the cheese of Scarbrand. I mean, basically, we got I got a broken card, and I've abused the hell out of it. It's just like Malefic Lords all over again. I'm only good when the math works in my favor.
I was just shit talking. I didn't mean to hurt your feelings, sir.
No, my feelings not hurt. I agree. I'm agreeing that.
Oh my God.
But I'm also thinking that you may have misspoken, because no, it was easier. Wait, it was harder back before Onslaught, and it's became easier with Onslaught because now I have this broken combo, and I'm just abusing the math. And that's
Scarbrand is from Onslaught.
Tell the world what this broken combo is.
Yeah. Speaking of trying to be cheesy and broken, I was trying to play some demons. I played a game today. Brought my double pink horrors with the bloodletters and a bunch of demon princes and 1,000 suns, and it was fun. It was a good game. I'm looking. I've decided that I want to do something different from that, and I put this together before we got on air here. After playing that game, I was like, screw it, I'm going to play this, and I'm just going to go fast and furious and crazy with Lord of Change and Magnus, along with 1,000 Sun Supreme Detachment.
I really like the Lord of Change.
I like your Lord of Change too, man. It's pretty sweet.
I hardly ever get to play him or never play him, so that's part of the inspiration there. But
and then he got a points drop in chapter approved, right?
Yeah, a little bit.
I mean, I think he's just stellar.
Yeah, his dick increased by 2 inches.
Mm-hmm. I think this list will be fun, though. So I'm going to try that out for my game against Connor tomorrow and see how it goes.
Destroy him.
Destroy his feelings. Goes back to his safe place.
I just kind of proxy out the Tau 8 from chapter approved. Made this little list with 3 Riptides plus the 8, which makes 4 Riptides. That's kind of fun. Get to break the rule of 3.
How many drones?
19. I could use more.
Yes.
Could use more. So that could be kind of fun to mess with. We got somebody made an order on warpchargegaming.com for a set of Warp Charge dice. That was pretty sick. Here's the colors that are available. Just want to make a quick shout out plug there that if you'd like some dice, I'll make sure to send you the ones that roll the most 6s. And I got a few that do 1s if you need those. But those are the colors, and you can go to warpchargegaming.com and pick yourself some out if you would like.
Those are pretty.
They're sweet, but my blood letters, I need more. I need more.
Reading all this, the business here. Yeah, it looks like Texas. Yeah, it's pretty.
That's actually what I was thinking.
It does look like Texas. How'd that happen?
What looks like Texas?
The box of dice. I just threw it back on the screen just to admire how much it looks like Texas.
Wow.
It could be Jesus' face, man. Then it's like, what if I made the dice box look like Jesus? And will we sell more dice?
Yo, we gotta get in contact with the Catholic Church. I feel like we could get a lot of YouTube hits if our dice just fell into the image of Jesus. I mean, it worked for grilled cheese. Why not warp charge 6s? Like, you know, like.
I got you. I'll get to work on that. I'll get to work on it.
Just keep rolling the dice until it naturally happens.
Oh, wow.
Oh, man. I'll see what I can do. So yeah, so looks like we had James play a tournament. Chris, you played any 40k recently?
I played against, I think I talked about it last week. Yeah, that's the last time I'd played 40k was whatever we discussed last week's live show. I think that was Wednesday night.
Yeah, gotcha.
So it's been like a hair over a week for me. I gotta really get back in the studio and get some games, and I'm gonna get at least 2 games in next week. I want to get one against you, George, if that's doable, and I gotta get another game in against Connor.
Excellent. I'm excited to find out about more about this arena and start playing that too. There was when do we got any idea when that new campaign book comes out? Because that'll be exciting.
I'm not entirely sure.
I'm believing like 60 days or so.
60 days?
Yeah.
That's like 2 months away.
That's not near close enough. Now my excitement has dwindled to
I wonder
sadness.
What Xenos factions are getting done. That's really what I want to know is what Xenos factions are getting done in that book.
No, you really just want to know if Tyrannids are in that book. Don't like.
I mean, you're not wrong, but that's not really all I want to know. Because I really want Necrons to get something good.
Well, dude, we all want Necrons to get some type of love, dude. It's kind of like
you're not wrong.
It's kind of like, dude, when you see someone having a hard time because they have mental issues, so you're like, hey, I'll help you a little bit. So, like, that's kind of how I see Necrons. It's like, it's more charitable. Like, I really want something good to happen for him because I'm tired of feeling bad for him.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of at that point, like, you know, with Grey Knights, everyone just kind of ignored Grey Knights because they're part of the Imperium. But, like,
exactly.
with Necrons, it's just
exactly.
Like, they're just on, like, an island by themselves talking to, you know, robotic volleyballs.
Like, if they have the Adeptus Astartes keyword, I don't care about them at all. But if they have something else and they're just horrible, like, I will feel bad for you. Like, if you like play me and I win like I normally will, but you happen to have Necrons, I'll probably buy you a drink because I'll blame it on that.
Yeah.
Feel
that.
No, I get that, man.
Let's give Shadizo a holler about his question. He was asking, is guard with Custodes good? is still good, I guess is the way he's asking. Because
guards are good with no matter what.
Yeah, I mean, like that's kind of a plug and play scenario, whether it's the Blood Angel Smash captains or the Custodes or some other form of that element, some beefy smash in your face type style thing mixed with guard. Oh yeah, Knights and guard, of course.
Yeah, so the winner at this tournament had 3 Basilisks, 2 like foot characters, 2 of the Forge World Flamer Knights, and then a Castellan. That's what he won the tournament with. So, guard mixed with anything is typically good.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Dude, there's like they redid White Dwarf. Like it used to be like a monthly magazine. Now it's like more of a book that comes out quarterly, I believe. And they just put what is it? What's that Space Marine faction? What are they called? Crimson Fist?
Sisters? Crimson Fists?
Yeah, they just put like 10 pages of like codex inside of a White Dwarf.
Huh.
Oh, really?
Yes, the Crimson Fist got some love.
They used to do that kind of stuff all the time. Like, they would put data slates and stuff. I mean, that was incentive to kind of, like, buy their stuff, you know? I mean, I don't think it was the only reason, but, that's how we originally got, for that game, Necromunda. All the rules for Genestealer Cult were published in a White Dwarf. Like, that was, like, an add-on faction in White Dwarf.
Yeah, so the Crimson Fist just got that kind of love with some fluff and some rules and some traits. It's floating around on the internet. You don't even have to buy the White Dwarf. But for those who like that kind of stuff, it's out there. That's kind of cool, right?
That's awesome. I mean, with that, you could even see, chapters that don't have fleshed out rules. I mean, I guess obviously that's exactly what happened. Other ones, that still don't have rules could crop up that way. My point being,
dude, I can definitely see some of those Trader Legions popping up that way.
Yep, I agree 100%. I mean, for all, I don't want to. I mean, part of me does, but I hate to keep dangling this cruel thing in front of you, but freaking, it would be awesome to see the Demonkin books come out. Just like, hey, you have these rules, you have these models.
Dude, give me a Blood Host again. I want Blood Tide points, and we'll be happy. Like, dude, I love Blood Tide points.
Who's that Nurgle character that, like, as Nurgle units die or as units die, like he does? Yeah, that was to me like one of the things when I remember reading him. I was like, so you gave Nurgle a blood tith, but I was like, that was kind of a dick move.
He's always had it though. He had it way back when before Demonkin too. But still,
I mean, Nurgle's always been a counter.
There was really no reason to give us.
Can you guys stop bringing up these bad feelings of me losing my army?
Sorry.
I'm done. I apologize, sir.
It's sad.
It is sad. It's tragic.
Yeah,
you've gotten so good at 40k. I think as a result, like you've
I was good at 40k with one army.
I know.
Now I've like found ways to just make garbage good. Like
recycling's good.
Yeah, that's all I'm doing is making the fucking recycle list. And it's kind of fun to watch people's faces when they think they're going to whoop my ass. And I bring the pain. I don't know. Maybe I'm just talking too much shit. It's enjoyable for me, though. Dude, that's one thing I really loved about this tournament, my third game. Like, my opponent loved to talk just as much shit as me. So, like, as we're, like, playing the game, we're just like, fuck you. And I've never met this dude before. But he's just super cool. Yeah. I love a good game that you can just talk shit the whole time. Like, George, can we play so I can just win and talking shit no matter what?
That's like me and Connor getting amped up for a game. Just like,
I would love to play Connor because I would talk mad shit the whole time. And you think he plays slow now? And once I get into his head, dude, it is just going to concede from just his own thoughts and feelings.
Oh man, Connor, I don't know if you're listening to this, but the gauntlet's been thrown down.
He just has to make it out to Depthcon.
Indeed.
So yeah. Dude's working on some
Double
cool
Seraph
stuff.
deck list for Necron concepts. I wonder if Matt is listening or Carson.
Yeah, and Gordito, it's not a sensitive subject of demons. It's Khorne Demonkin itself. There's a faction that I once dominated and has been taken away from me. I was able to put a fucking Khorne Herald in a rhino. Like, that was so cool. Can't do that shit no more.
You can do the exploding rhino trick, though.
That's the dumbest trick I've ever heard of.
I know.
When people thought that was a real tactic, I was like, you're dumb. You telling me that you're going to go blow up your own rhino so that you get a little extra charge distance? Dude, your rhino blew up. Now you got nothing taking your Overwatch. You lose half your dudes in Overwatch. And you just gave your opponent a kill. Awesome job, dude. Way to lose.
Listen, stop making it easier or harder for me to win tournaments, okay? Like, I need people doing these things.
Dude, I was
Sometimes
shocked
you
that my
need to.
rhino survived every game. Because I play it so weird. It's like my third wave. So I play it in the backfield. And by the time everything's in their face, like it's coming, it's like trotting along turn 5, like, I'm here. I made it, guys. And like there's just nothing left for them to take it out. So even like the berserkers that get out might die, but the rhino's still just chugging along because there's nothing left to kill it.
I'm really tickled by the visual Gordito has painted that child services came and took away your Khorne Demonkin.
Dude, that's truly what feel like it happened. Like I was like smoking weed in the couch and like in a state that doesn't have legal weed, and I was just like, man, why do the other states have it? Why can't I? And then they just took my kid away because of it. That's exactly what I felt like.
My God.
So we got Smexon is asking about what's the toughest orc list that we've seen, and how do we think that orcs will make into the top 8 at LVO?
Triple Gargantuan Squiggoth.
Yeah.
It's the only list to run. If you're not running it, you're just behind the curve. Actually, I have no idea. I'm not anywhere near an authority on orcs. That would be more George.
What about you, James? You seen some orc shit recently?
Dude, I've seen lots of orc shit, and like the stuff I've really seen depends on your meta. It's a great meta buster. Like orcs have so many tools that a lot of people are leaning towards the Bad Moons, Ludas for all their like strategy and combos, being able to shoot twice, being able to just hit on 5s and get Daka, and like you're always gonna hit type of shit. That's great, but they're soft. So like if your meta is in a situation where like they have easy tools to take that out, it doesn't work. But then in that meta, like Evil Suns might be really good because they can charge 4 or 5 units turn 1 right in people's grill, and they might not have anything to deal with it. So I mean, I definitely think you're going to see orcs in the top 16, possibly top 8. It's going to be a seasoned orc player that knows the orcs, but I think it's going to be because it's going to be anti-meta. Like, Ynnari is just so good right now. Like, it's just so good. They have every tool you can possibly think of. They're survivable. They're killy. I mean, they have mobility. Like, every aspect of the game. Psychic powers. Like, they just own it all. And because they get to, like, soul burst twice, basically, they get to do it once because they kill something or they get killed. And then they get to do it as a psychic power. Like, with some Dark Reapers, like, it sucks. It's just hard to deal with. So Ynnari's super awesome, but orcs have amazing builds to go anti-Ynnari. And since this is like a world event, or at least the United States, the biggest event, possibly the biggest event in the world as far as 40K, people are going to kind of anticipate the meta as far as what has been winning tournaments and what's new out of Chapter Approved. So I definitely think you're going to see a lot of Ynnari. You're going to see a lot of guard Stellan. Chris, stop it.
Chris, Jesus Christ.
But definitely not gonna like you're gonna kind of be able to predict what's out there, So because of that, I think an Evil Sun's Bad Moon mix, where it's real fast, able to jump in like the key units right away, things that can jump over lines, like what are those dudes with the rockets? What are they called? The jumping ones.
Tank busters.
The tank busters, but no,
you're talking about Storm Boys.
Yeah, Storm Boys. Like they're going to be fantastic with being able to fall back and charge, so you can get them over lines after boys have already tied some stuff up. So I think orcs will definitely do very well in LVO, but it's going to be tricky. Like I think you're not going to see one list of orcs reign. It's going to be all over the place.
That's kind of good, though, I think.
Oh, dude, I think it's I love the codex. Like, if you're an orc player, man, you are living it up. Like, you could have literally 4 different orc armies right now, depending on your meta, and you can almost tailor to like the areas you play.
That's dope.
I'm a big fan of it. Berserkers, though, love to eat up orcs because they get so many attacks and they have armor. So,
yeah.
If I went against orcs, I'd probably crush them because I would just take away their boys, and then I'd take away the grots because it's all in combat, so you're not going to be able to put it onto the grots. So your grots are useless, then they die, and then your characters died because I wanted them to. like I feel very good against orcs. What scared me the most is guard. Guard scares the shit out of me.
I don't like guard.
Dude, they just have the nastiest combos right now, especially with that new book. Like, it's just nastiness with guard.
Hell yeah.
Dude, Snakebite solid. Yeah, dude. I like your list. 5 30-man blobs, a Ludobomb. Dude, stick it around for a while.
Yeah, they've always said the boy is the most efficient unit in the codex. Bringing a bunch of them is always a pretty solid idea.
Dude, Ultramarines are too sexy right now. Like, with their intercessors, like, a Primaris Ultramarine army is very good right now. Like, I know quite a few people that are building theirs for LVO.
I was joking for a while. I was like, Primaris Marines are going to be amazing one day, man.
Dude, they are truly amazing as Ultramarines. When you have a unit of intercessors that ain't shit, and have Gilliman next to them where they're re-rolling hits, re-rolling wounds, and then you put that stratagem on them where they're getting 6s to wound or an additional mortal wound on top of normal damage.
Oh, that's disgusting.
And being able to target characters at the same time. You just murk any character in the game. That's not a character you could already shoot at. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like, it's instant delete. And like, if you have that ability to take away people's special rules, because that's what characters are nowadays with command points.
Or weaving.
Yeah, so you're taking away all of their, like, what makes their army good. Like, my bloodletters suck without the bonus of 4 characters. I literally need 4 characters to make my bloodletters good.
Dude, why do you think I'm so excited that Gene Stealer Cult's getting like 6 characters?
Yeah, and then my Berserkers, I need 2 characters to make them good, plus a vehicle to get them there. Like, you need all that stuff, and Ultramarines have a way to take care of all your extra rules. So what makes your army competitive gets taken away. So then you're just like models with points, and your synergy is gone, and you're just able to be picked apart by a superior force at that point. Dude, Primaris Ultramarines are scary. What I love, though, is I have no problem with them because I come from the warp, and I have neg 3 AP, so they just all disappear.
Bye.
But against other armies, they're fantastic.
I dig it.
Yeah, Shadizo's trying to run that heat, that super heat.
So Smexon says he's gotten first of the last 2 tourneys with the 5 30-man blobs and the Ludobomb there.
Yeah, dude, that's a fantastic list, man. But like I said, that's a meta list. Like, that works in your local meta. It wouldn't do very well here. People have answers to that. But I guarantee you, like, there's lots of areas that will work. And obviously your place is one of them, so keep doing it.
Nice. Yeah, lots more tournaments coming up, and I guess LVO is the start of the next season. That's when the 2019 tournament season begins, right?
Yeah, that's Sunday when they do an RTT. So the ones that don't make it into the finals, you have an option to enter an RTT tournament, and they break you into like brackets based off of where you placed in the like major. Pretty neat little combo they've been doing the last 2 years.
So you get to rack in two events in the same.
Well, one event because the LVO is the end of the year Super Bowl.
Oh, it's the final.
Yeah, it's the final. That's where everyone places. That's how they can get so many people there, man. Because you're trying to get the top ITC of the year, and with how many people are there, like your points are so crazy. Like if you're in top 100, you have a chance to win it all if you win the event. It's pretty gross. So if you're serious about 40K, you kind of have to be there. If you like,
be there.
Yeah. But what's nice is if you don't make it, you get bracketed up, get an RTT to start off the new year. So like you're going to be competing against people like you, and if you do well in your little RTT on Sunday in your bracket, you have a good indication of how well you're going to do for the rest of the year too.
Yeah, it's fun.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I think it's super fun. I will probably be participating in another RTT that same day to start on those early points for the new year.
When is the LVO?
February 9th, I believe.
Oh, darn. So too bad our February 2nd one is still in the 2018 season.
That's
yeah,
true.
But if people are trying to get best faction and are not going there and they got a decent enough lead, they might still be able to play something.
We've played teams before at Adepticon Gordillo. It's mainly just been a matter of expense and timing that we weren't able to get team tickets yet.
Yeah, so we're on the wait list for 4-man teams. And then as far as the doubles this year, the Long War doubles, I decided to opt out. I did Long War doubles the last 3 years. The first 2 years are a lot of fun. Last year, man, they tried to make up their own missions. It wasn't very much fun. And then this year, they're doing ITC missions because they learned from their lesson. But I decided to not do it because I'm going to be doing Kill Team instead. So my day will be taken up doing that. But I prefer doubles. I'd rather play with somebody else. Like, it's a lot more fun. I enjoy the game better because you get to drink with a buddy. And, like, regardless of how dumb your opponent may be, and when I say dumb, I'm not talking about, like, how well they play the game. I'm talking about dumb. Like, this is uncomfortable to be around, have a bad conversation with. Like, I have my buddy there. I'll talk to him. I have literally played doubles games where their own partner didn't like their partner. And, like, it was, like, the three of us, and the one dude was just like, go get a drink somewhere. Not to single people out. Like, you shouldn't do that. But some people alienate themselves.
Hey, it is what it is.
I mean, that just is what it is.
Real talk from James, the illustrious.
Dude, I don't sugarcoat nothing.
Did you see the new rules they're setting? Yeah, so we got we saw the code of conduct that came out and things like that. I don't know if that's what you're describing, Gordito. I'm interested in some updated ITC missions, though. That'd be cool.
Yeah, they sent out a little questionnaire to all the TOs about if they want the missions to be changed or not. So I'm interested to see what their feedback was on that. Change some stuff up.
Yeah, I don't really think that there's too much that needs to go down, but it would be nice to. It's more for the sake of shaking it up, not really that it's there's anything wrong with it.
Well, dude, I really don't like Kingslayer. I personally don't like that one. Like as a mission, I find it doesn't get selected a lot by anybody.
Sure.
And it's just a deterrent to not take like Magnus and Morty. And it's like, dude, bring those. Like you should be able to play with your toys.
Yeah, it's fair.
They still count as headhunter. They still count as big game hunter. Like they count for other things, but to like deter someone from wanting to bring that, I don't like it.
Yeah, it's fair. I agree. But yeah, this has been an hour into our Thursday show here. I think that we are at a point of calling it for this week. We got another show on Monday doing Tabletop Alchemy. Sorry we missed the last couple weeks if you were expecting to see us. But life got crazy and out of hand. But it's going down. Tabletop Alchemy on Monday. This upcoming Saturday, if you're in the area of Richmond, Virginia, come on down to Battlegrounds and learn how to play some games from me or somebody else. That is awesome. And we got tournaments every week for the next 3 weeks after this weekend. So hope to see you at one of those. Warhammer Underworlds, Kill Team, and 40k, February 2nd. Adepticon around the corner. We're going to be out there having a good time.
Yo.
It's good to see Gordito, Shadizo. Had some other folks hadn't really spotted before. That was cool to see you. So Smexon talking about his orc magic. Good to see you, man. Ice Wolf, great to have you. Michael Venduski. Cool to see you, man. Chicken Bone. Can't forget Chicken Bone. All the homies. Thanks for jumping in, friends. And we will catch you here this Monday or later next week or sometime in the near future. Keep taking fun seriously.
Doses.
Peace.
Adios.